When you think of prehistoric life, what comes to mind? Giant dinosaurs with thunderous footsteps. Massive sea monsters lurking in the deep. While size and power were definitely key players, today we're diving into a different kind of superpower: intelligence. We're going to uncover which ancient creatures were the true brainiacs of their time, the ones whose smarts gave them a critical edge in the brutal world of prehistory. So, how do we even measure the intelligence of an animal that's been extinct for millions of years? We can't give a T-Rex an IQ test, obviously. Instead, paleontologists act like detectives. They look at clues like the brain-to-body size ratio, known as the encephalization quotient, or EQ. A bigger brain relative to body size often suggests more cognitive power. We also study fossilized evidence of complex behaviors, sophisticated hunting strategies, social structures, and even problem-solving skills. It's a fascinating puzzle, and today we're piecing it together. Let's start with a dinosaur that everyone knows and fears, partly thanks to Hollywood: the raptor. Specifically, let's talk about Truden. This small, bird-like dinosaur from the late Cretaceous period is a top contender for the smartest dinosaur. Why? Well, Truden had an exceptionally large brain for its body size, one of the highest EQs among all non-avian dinosaurs. Its brain was comparable in proportion to that of modern birds like emus or ostriches, which are known for their cleverness. But a big brain is just part of the story. Fossil evidence suggests Truden was a highly capable predator. Its large, forward-facing eyes gave it excellent binocular vision and depth perception, crucial for hunting in low light. Imagine this creature, moving swiftly and silently through the prehistoric undergrowth at dusk. Its sharp senses zeroed in on its prey. Its hands were also uniquely adapted for grasping, suggesting it could manipulate objects, maybe even hold onto struggling prey. Some scientists even speculate that they hunted in coordinated packs, a behavior that requires communication and a level of social intelligence far beyond what we imagine for most dinosaurs. Truden wasn't just a mindless monster. It was a calculated and efficient hunter, a true strategist of the Cretaceous. Now, let's move from the land to the ancient oceans, which were home to some seriously clever predators. Meet the mosasaurs. These were not dinosaurs but giant marine lizards, the apex predators of the seas during the late Cretaceous. Think of them as a monstrous blend of a Komodo, dragon, and a whale. While they were massive, their intelligence is what made them truly terrifying. Studies of mosasaur skulls reveal well-developed sensory regions in the brain, particularly for sight and smell. This means they were expert hunters, able to detect prey from a distance. But what's truly remarkable is the evidence of their learning and adaptability. Fossil records show mosasaur bite marks on a huge variety of prey, from large fish and ammonites to other marine reptiles, even other mosasaurs. This isn't just mindless eating. It suggests they were opportunistic and could adapt their hunting techniques based on what was available. Some fossils even show healed bite marks, indicating they survived tough battles, learning from their experiences. This ability to learn and adapt is a hallmark of higher intelligence. They weren't just brute force. They were clever, adaptable kings of the ancient sea. But intelligence wasn't just for predators. The drive to survive also pushed herbivores to evolve greater brain power. Take the ornithopods, a group of bipedal, plant-eating dinosaurs like the iguanodon or the duck-billed hadrosaurs. For a long time, these were seen as simple, cow-like grazers. But recent discoveries have completely changed that picture. Hadrosaurs, for instance, had incredibly complex social lives. We found vast nesting grounds with eggs and hatchlings at different stages of development, all in one place. This suggests they return to the same locations year after year to raise their young, much like modern seabird colonies. It also implies they provided parental care, protecting and feeding their babies. This kind of complex social behavior requires communication, recognition of individuals, and a strong social structure. Furthermore, some hadrosaurs had elaborate crests on their heads. These weren't just for show. The hollow structures were likely used to produce and amplify sounds, allowing them to communicate over long distances. Imagine herds of these dinosaurs calling to each other, warning of predators, or keeping the group together. They were far from being simple-minded. They were social, communicative, and caring parents. Of course, we can't talk about prehistoric intelligence without mentioning the rise of our own ancestors, the early mammals. While dinosaurs ruled the day, small, often nocturnal mammals were carving out their own existence, and their main weapon was their brain. Living in a world of giants, these small creatures, like Repenomamus, had to be incredibly resourceful. For a long time, scientists thought Mesozoic mammals were just tiny, shrew-like creatures scurrying in the shadows, waiting for the dinosaurs to die out. But fossils have shown us a different story. Repenomamus, for example, was a badger-sized mammal that lived alongside dinosaurs, and we have fossil evidence of it eating a baby dinosaur. This completely flips the script. To take on even a young dinosaur, this mammal would have needed to be fast, agile, and incredibly cunning. Mammals of this era were developing key brain features that would become our legacy. Their brains showed an expanding neocortex, the part of the brain responsible for higher-order functions like sensory perception, reasoning, and spatial awareness. They had a superior sense of smell and hearing, perfect for navigating the world at night and avoiding predators. Their survival wasn't based on size, but on being smarter, quicker, and more adaptable than the competition. These early mammals were the underdogs, the survivors who used their wits to stay one step ahead, setting the stage for the age of mammals that would follow. Let's head back to the water, but this time, let's meet a mammal, Basilosaurus, despite its name, which means king lizard. This was actually an early whale that lived around 40 million years ago, and it was a fearsome predator. But what made it so successful was likely its brain. Compared to its predecessors, Basilosaurus had a more complex brain, showing advancements in areas related to hearing and communication. As an aquatic mammal, it would have relied heavily on sound to navigate and hunt in the murky Eocene oceans. It's highly probable that Basilosaurus used a form of echolocation, similar to modern dolphins and whales. It would send out clicks and listen for the echoes to build a mental map of its surroundings and locate prey. This is an incredibly sophisticated cognitive ability. It requires the brain to process complex auditory information in real time to create a three-dimensional picture of the world. Hunting with sound is a testament to an advanced mind. Basilosaurus wasn't just a giant sea serpent. It was a highly intelligent acoustic hunter, mastering its environment with a kind of intelligence that was brand new to the oceans. Finally, we arrive at our closest ancient relatives, the early hominins. This is where intelligence really takes center stage. Let's look at Homo habilis, the handyman who lived around 2 million years ago. What sets Homo habilis apart is not just a larger brain, but what they did with it. They were the first of our ancestors to consistently create and use stone tools. This might sound simple, but it represents a massive cognitive leap. Making a stone tool isn't just about banging two rocks together. It requires foresight, the ability to imagine a tool that doesn't exist yet. It requires planning, selecting the right kind of stone and knowing how to strike it to get the desired shape. It requires fine motor skills and hand-eye coordination. These tools, known as old down tools, allowed Homo habilis to butcher carcasses, crush bones for marrow, and access new, high-energy food sources. This single innovation transformed their way of life and kick-started a feedback loop. Better tools led to better nutrition, which fueled the growth of an even bigger, more powerful brain. This was the dawn of technology, the moment our ancestors started to actively shape their world, not just react to it. From the calculating gaze of a Truden to the complex social calls of a hadrosaur. From the adaptable hunting of a mosasaur to the first stone tools of Homo habilis, prehistoric intelligence was diverse and dynamic. It was the invisible force des systems, drove evolution, and vanished. These ancient minds prove that in the story of life on Earth, brains have always been just as important as brawn. The world of prehistory wasn't just a battle of giants. It was a chess match, played out over millions of years. Thanks for joining us on this journey back in time. If you were fascinated by the minds of these ancient creatures, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the mysteries of our planet's past. Let us know in the comments which prehistoric genius you find most impressive. See you next time